Hello and welcome to Cosmere Conundrum. I'm your host Nemo.
And I'm Roman, and I already nearly screwed up the intro.
Anyway, today we are going to be talking about chapters 28, 29, 30 of Mistborn, The Final Empire. So,
Which I would like to call the Nemo. Why are we doing 3 chapters? I thought we were doing the 3 chapters at the end. I now fully understand why we are doing these 3 chapters.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to annoy me with that blasted ending.
Also, these 3 chapters have sort of a narrative structure.
There's a narrative through line.
Yeah,
yes.
28 and 29 and 30.
There is a big narrative through line.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean it's not annoying that I had to wait. That I've been waiting for 5 days to record this at this point.
I mean, we have done like 4 episodes in 8
we are
days.
so far ahead of the release schedule. It's hilarious. It's mainly because I can't put this damn book down.
Yeah, if I didn't have to edit, I would be releasing 2 episodes per week, given how fast we're going.
Yes.
Anyway, chapter 28. We start in the middle of a ball at Keep Lekal, and its build is similar to that of Keep Hastings, which with a dance floor in the middle and surrounded by balconies, which are in the dark, obviously.
Yeah, it's the 4th keep we've got in the description of 5th keep.
We've got Adventure, Hastings, Lekal. I can't remember the 4th one. There was another one, the previous one. Elariel, yeah, the 4 ones. These are the 4.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
And they're all different, but all show pomp and circumstance.
Yeah, obviously. They are nobility after all. And even Vin remarks at how beautiful the stained glass windows here, at least here, are. Keep Lekal boasts of having the most beautiful stained glass windows.
Yes, and the descriptions of them are very beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes me think that Keep Lekal might have something to do with the glass industry and all, because
that might be. Yeah,
because being able to afford that kind of stained glass windows makes sense that you'd have at least some stakes in it. Finn is able to recognize references from what she has read in the journal, and
which I like to point out that when Kel showed Vin the image of a flower, she was very skeptical of green plants.
Yeah.
And here she's not even considering the fact that the hills of Emerald Green are green grass.
Yeah.
She's completely normalized it because she's seen the images at the keeps.
She's seen the images at the keeps, and she's also read the book that comes from before
and it's
the Ascension.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's...
Yeah. Anyway, Finn doesn't spend long looking at those, though, because she has some important business to attend to, which is spreading misinformation.
Which, don't do that. Don't spread misinformation.
No, but at least they have some backing, because Doxon is also preparing false documents too.
Well, yes, but we're not there yet.
Yeah. So she finds Lady Kliss, who's apparently the gossip in the parties.
Mm-hmm.
And starts spreading rumors about Keep Hastings.
Well, it's also just I missed the last ball because I was dining with my uncle, and totally not because I was with an army.
Yeah. Anyway, she tells Kliss that House Hastings are moving their resources back to the Southern Dominance, which will make
it will make people suspicious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that is why also Doxon is preparing documents to sort of...
Yeah, and it's also just because of the Hastings reputation, it makes sense.
Yeah, he has a reputation of subterfuge and stabbing people in the back, basically. So yeah.
We also get what I like to call the setup for a reveal later in this chapter.
Yeah.
Which is comparing the financial situation of Hastings to Venture. Oh, Venture is very stable.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the most stable.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I have a theory.
No, but it is quite interesting that the book mentions that House Hastings are very overextended, which makes sense. If you're overextended, you will obviously start losing some form of power here and there. So they have an obvious strategy to go about how to bring about the fall of different houses. Anyway, Vin is, however,
we learn about the Techiels. Learn about the Techiels.
Yeah, they want to try to move out, and
they tried to leave.
Yeah,
and didn't go so well.
Yeah, I mean, we don't learn here what happened, but in the next chapter,
well, the thing was, I was immediately not in the next section of this. I immediately clocked it cannot have been a thieving crew, because the Techiels would have had Mistborn and Elementals with them.
Yeah.
This was a very... Which means that amongst the great houses, if they don't know who it was, they fully know it has to have been one of the great houses. They're the only ones who have the resources for this.
Yeah, even Kelsey suspects it, which makes sense that the great houses would also have some. Like, Ellen outright knows who did it, so which means the other noble houses also might know.
No, Ellen outright knows who did it because the Ventures have a spy in the Hastings household, remember? We learned it at the end of this chapter.
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right, yes.
They have a high-placed spy. That's why they know it.
Yeah.
Which is probably also why the Venture are able to counter so much. But we'll get to that. I love this chapter because it's basically just politics.
Yeah, it's a lot of politics, and it's pretty good. Then obviously while she's thinking this, Ellen calls her out for being late, and she happily retorts that she is picking up bad habits from someone.
Yeah, Kel.
Also, Ellen, technically.
Mostly Kel.
Mostly Kel, yeah. Anyway, Ellen does say that he didn't mention it being bad.
Even more so, doesn't she? She's literally saying she was basically saying what she's learned from Kel.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, Ellen does say that he didn't mention it being a bad habit. Because ladies are supposed to make the men wait, and he learned this from his mother.
The thing I immediately clicked. Considering she was always fond of telling me, I immediately she's dead.
Yeah, makes sense.
But he doesn't need to tell me.
No,
I know it, and what comes later. Yeah, I think I know what happened.
Yeah, we will talk about it. Then they talk about Ellen's mom for a bit, and
yes, they talk about why she made the smartest choice in marrying into the most powerful house. The only thing she could have done to make it more powerful was marrying the Lord Ruler.
Yeah, who's not in the business to make.
And we immediately get just Ellen's outward calling out the Lord Ruler for looking depressed.
Yeah,
which is exactly what I was expecting. I was expecting that. The life of an immortal is a lonely life.
Yeah, basically. I mean, Doctor Who, the Doctor is one of those
not just Doctor Who. There is a whole thing where, well, you're immortal now. Great, you're going to see everyone you know die.
Yeah, basically. Anyway, they talk for a bit, but then people start gossiping, so Vin suggests that they move out from that very tiny alcove that they are standing in. They start then strolling about when Ellen asks Vin to leave the city because it is becoming extremely dangerous.
I am sorry. I know why you are skipping over this.
Yes.
But I am not letting you skip over this.
Go ahead.
I know you despise romance.
Yes.
But we are not skipping over the fact that Ellen nearly kissed Vin.
Yeah, Vin stopped him.
And it's to me, this moment confirms to me what I immediately suspected at the during chapter 30. Yeah. I immediately got, I know what's going on here. But I'm also just here like, that's very cute. And I just accidentally read a spoiler. Thank you very much, search feature.
That's exactly right.
Admittedly, it's a spoiler I can see coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
But still. But
anyway.
I felt this moment is awkward. But I've seen it coming for a while. And admittedly, I was delivering post at the time. I was basically delivering post like this. Just do it already. Stop. Don't. She clearly wants this too. She's just afraid of the consequences.
Yeah,
more than you are.
She doesn't want to do it under the guise of like deceived, because she's technically deceiving Ellen at this point. Which is
quite fair, but I'm also just like, I mean, yeah, but you clearly want this.
That is fair, yeah.
But it's also, this is the first part where Ellen's descent into slight paranoia starts to begin.
Yeah.
And it's logical paranoia. That's the thing, I don't blame him for what he does at the end of this chapter. I find it utterly logical.
Yeah, I mean, especially like the others are not wrong. Like we will discuss about it when we get to that part, but his friends are not wrong. Yes. Yeah. So,
but now we can go for the stroll you wanted to skip to.
Yeah. I mean, they start strolling about, and Ellen then asks Finn to leave the city.
And they joke with each other.
Yeah.
This is outright flirting.
Yeah. I mean, the book even mentions them as a couple at this point.
Well, Ellen says it's for the best that Alcove has absolutely terrible reading light. Finn says, don't you dare. Read when you're with someone else, not me. Ellen's reply of, but that's how our relationship began. Now that's relationship as in the not quite courtship they're in, but it's deliberate word choice.
Yeah.
And Vince's reply of, and that's how it could end too. And I'm just like, they call themselves a couple, they're in a relationship, and I'm like, Sanderson is not being subtle about this at all.
I mean, given the people that Vin and Ellen are, I don't think any of them can be subtle.
I know they are. I know Vin said something about subtlety and cliss.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, Vin is, however, good at being subtle.
Ellen
isn't.
Yeah, Vin is good at also reading people. I don't think Ellen is as good at reading.
Which is why I was shocked in chapter 30. Vin has always been able to tell something with people, and we get a moment there it wasn't.
Yeah, we'll talk about it when we get to it, because she's sort of blinded at that point. Anyway, as I have said like twice at this point, Ellen has Vin to leave the city.
Yes, leave Lutherdale, and I just mean, oh great, 2 stubborn people. This is going to go great.
Yeah. He says that the things might get out of hand soon, and so he wants her to stay safe. And this is where he confirms that House Hastings murdered House Tequil.
Yes.
Yeah, Vin asks if Ellen is safe, and Ellen says that
yes. And this is where does Ellen make a gigantic? Can I say f up?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely.
And it's clue number 2 that Ellen's choices in chapter 30 are coming from a very particular place, and I have yet again a theory.
Yeah.
I'm building very many theories these days.
That's fine. That's what we are here
I
for.
haven't made theories like this since I read Harry Potter for the first time. And that was in the 2000s. And I was a small kid.
Yeah. That's why I do feel like reading books slowly it can be very rewarding, because if you're reading it very fast, you can
admittedly, what helps is the fact I'm listening to these chapters 3 times.
Yeah.
The first time just to listen to it, the second time to begin analyzing, the third for theories.
Yeah.
Which was why it was a very odd thing of me to decide to do that today, listening to the third time to it today, whilst I was delivering post. So I was I was pausing multiple times to think about things. I'm like, it's a good thing I don't have a timer on delivering this post.
Yeah. Anyway, this is where Ellen makes a choice. Whether it's a good choice.
It's a choice. It's insane trust.
Yeah.
And unsurprisingly, Venus like shit, because she doesn't tell anyone. By the way.
No. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. I can get to that because this is. I think the problem is if she were to tell this to anyone, it's breaking Ellen's trust, and she does not want to lose his trust.
Yeah. Yeah, but given what happens in the chapter 30, I do think she's...
Then just mine the Lord Ruler's atium.
Yeah.
And outright saying, the Lord Ruler gets very perturbed if the schedule is disrupted. And it's been troubled lately. And I'm like, happened a few years ago.
Yeah.
Cal!
Yeah. I have written it here.
I also just clocked. I need to go back and look at what Cal said about the attack on Ellen. When that happened. Because I have a suspicion.
I think I remember because I was editing it very recently. It was Lord Renault who was talking about it, who said that Ellen was... No, that was a different thing. I think he said he met Ellen 4 years ago. Anyway. I don't remember exactly when. It's fine.
I'm literally going through the chapters right now. This is...
Yeah, it's gonna bug us.
He nearly died in a raid a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And it's the exact same phrase, pretty much the same phrasing Ellen uses here.
Yes. Do you think it's because what Kelsier did at the pits led to some sort of uprising? No. What Kelsier did at the pits led to some sort of uprising at the pits. So Kelsier...
I think he did more... I think Kel did more damage than he thinks he did. Kel was not in his right mind at the time.
No. He was very much...
I think he did a lot more damage. He might have collapsed. Atium responds badly to Elementus.
Yeah.
And there would be Atium... He blew up the Atium supply.
Yeah. That makes complete sense.
He blew up the Atium supply! But I do think that the attack on Ellen was probably directed by the Lord Ruler. It's very suspicious that both used a couple of years ago.
Why do you think it's
the thing is, there was no tension between the great houses at the time.
No.
It makes no sense for bandits to attack such a high nobleman.
Yeah, I mean,
who would have been highly protected.
Yeah, we sort of get the confirmation even in this chapter that bandits won't try attacking great houses.
Yes, that leaves there was no tension between the great houses. That leaves very few options.
Yes, but if Lord Ruler wanted to sort of kill Ellen Venture,
it's a message. Dead. It's a warning. It's a warning.
Okay, so
it's a warning that makes sense. That won't alert the other houses.
That would make sense. Yeah, that's very devious if he did that. Because only the Ventures will understand why Lord Ruler did that, because the others do not know what they are doing.
My father can't meet the Lord Ruler's quotas, and last time that happened, well, let's just say things could soon grow very bad for the Ventures.
Yes, that line I missed.
It's either... It might also... I don't think this was the case. We don't know when his mother died.
No.
But the death of Lady Venture would be something we'd probably have heard about at this point.
Yeah, we should have.
But what if there's one way to get Ellen to turn against the Final Empire, it's probably revealing that it was the Lord Ruler that nearly killed him.
Yeah, but what if in the attack where Ellen was severely injured, his mom died? What if it was the same attack?
That's my thinking.
But that would have been mentioned. But it hasn't been mentioned yet.
That's the thing. When Ellen said that, it would have been mentioned. Or he just doesn't want to say that.
Or he just doesn't want to talk about it.
Anyway,
it doesn't seem like he has processed his grief, and Star Venture doesn't seem like the person who would sort of.
But also, I do like how what Ellen is saying here confirms Kelsey's thoughts about the economy.
Yeah, he full on talks about the economics of Allomancy. And goes on to say that you would understand this if you knew more about how Luthordel's economy works.
No, if you knew more about the economics of Allomancy.
Yeah, and Vin says, I know more about it than you probably.
No, I understand more than you think, and I know far more than I should. Which, that feels like a proverb.
Yeah.
Actually, that sounds like something the Lord Ruler would have written.
Yeah.
But yeah. Ellen
Anyway.
just turns it right back. I want you to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of the city.
Yeah, get out, or they might attack you to get to me, sort of.
Which, fair enough.
Yeah.
And also, actually, what Ellen is saying here comes back in chapter 30. Ellen is hinting at House Renew has no allies.
Yeah, I mean, given how chapter 30 goes, that seems to be 100%.
It bites them in the arse really badly.
Yeah. Anyway, Vin says she'll think about it and warns Ellen about Shan, but Ellen doesn't really take it very Ellen doesn't take it very seriously, and she just asks him
I
to
think
be
it's
careful.
that's because Shan is only seen as arrogant, haughty. She's not seen as a threat to him.
Yeah, and no one knows Shan is a Mistborn. They only know Shan is.
We don't know that. We only know she's an Elementor at this point.
Yeah, fair. But
I need to go back to those chapters to see if there's a hint. I don't think that really is. She's very good at only using one metal.
Yeah, she only soothes her emotion.
And she would have been burning copper anyway, if she was. She wouldn't suspect a seeker around. I don't think. But
yeah, but
even still, she might not even have been burning it and only been burning to soothe. But
I mean, there are obligators around, so there were definitely seekers around.
Yeah. We do get some fun thing about, yes, Ellen is wearing pure gold. Like, yep.
Definitely. It straight out says that the nobility are emulating what the Lord Ruler is doing. And he also goes on to say...
He basically... It becomes very evident that... Well, Vin basically at the end says like he's not a revolutionary. And Ellen thinks the same. And I'm here sitting like, it's because he doesn't have the concept even in his brain. Even the crew doesn't have the concept. The only one who had the concept in his brain was Kel.
Yeah.
And it took bad trauma for that to happen to Kel.
Yeah, very much.
Vin is disappointed, but she shouldn't be. He's going way beyond what is normal.
Yeah, I mean, when I think... Yeah, when...
he calls the Lord Ruler arrogant!
Yeah, when he mentions this, then Vin straight up says, do you want to overthrow him? And he's shocked by this statement.
Yeah, the thing is, Vin's statement of, so you do want to overthrow him, she's lucky Ellen doesn't... basically...
Yeah.
But it's also... But the way he phrases it... He doesn't have the concept of a world without the Lord Ruler.
Yeah, he is the God Emperor.
And this is where Kel, in my opinion, is still going wrong. He's not seeing that the Lord Ruler is literally seen as the God.
Yeah,
he's refusing to acknowledge the fact that people will not respond well to this.
Yeah. It's interesting because the power vacuum, once Lord Ruler is gone, who's like the highest of high beings here.
Yeah.
The power vacuum that will create will be massive.
Yeah, because the entire known world is ruled, even if more indirectly, by the Lord Ruler.
Yeah. Which is... Yeah, it'll be... that's the thing. It won't just be the power vacuum in sort of a nobility sense, an aristocratic sense. It'll also be a power vacuum in the spiritual sense, because he is the God. That's the religion. You can't really take people's religion away from them. That's not how it works. It'll always turn them against you. Which, yeah, it's quite interesting. We'll see. Finn then asks Ellen what he would do if he was in charge. And Ellen says he doesn't know.
No. Because nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Kel doesn't really know. Kel's now basically saying, we'll rule the city. And like, none of you have experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can lead a
look,
small group.
Look at most, but look at most successful revolutions in history. Not led by Joe Farmer from the countryside. They're generally led by established politicians and the rich.
Yeah.
See also the Dutch Revolt, the American Revolution, the French Revolution.
Even the Russian Revolution.
It's never... There were a lot of nobles who still worked with the French Revolution. There were a suspicious amount of people who escaped the terror with their hats, who were noble.
Yeah.
Not all of them. There were a lot of hats. But there were still plenty of people with noble titles. And it's like, again, this is where Kel's going wrong.
Yeah. He's not thinking of the consequences just yet.
The problem is he's trying to do a revolution via exclusively a popular uprising in a single city.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a network in other cities.
To be fair, it's also like the Paris of France, because it's the most populated city in the entirety of Final Empire.
Yes. But there are multiple things that were the case in 1789 France that aren't the case here.
Yeah, fair.
However, there is an relatively easy way, in my opinion, to get the Scar to rise up, but it is horrifyingly cruel. Stop the food barges.
Yeah, that's basically what happened.
That's literally the case. If there's famine, the people will be far more likely to rise up.
Yeah. Anyway,
but
after this conversation, Ellen goes away for his own meeting, and Vin goes back to spreading rumors. She goes to meet Shan and Ariel, but
I want to point out, this thought felt a little out of place, but was made only, which in my opinion is only that just to make sure people remember this. It's the House Venture secretly mines the Lord Ruler's ATM she saw. They must be the ones who administer the pits of Hessin. I'm like, we could put that together, but it's tossed between so much other stuff.
Yeah.
We needed a reminder. And like, it felt a little out of place.
I mean, yeah, there's a bit of repetition even from the first chapter to here, which, yes, it does slow down the book a bit, but
it's usually not long. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's for people who, I mean, if you're binge reading this, for us, we are going through at 2 chapters at a time, reading it multiple times and keeping most of the things
3.
in our head. Yeah.
Doing 3.
Yeah. So, so we sort of know what is happening. But if you're binging it, things get like mushed up together and you forget things. So reminding them with a repetition is fine. I am not a big fan of repetition, but I can see
get it in this instant. I can get it in this instance.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's not egregious.
Yeah, not here.
It felt out of place. It's more a thing of, I get it. We've had a long conversation with Ellen, and we have lots of things said, and this is the most important thing.
Yeah.
And it's also at this point, I fully believe she decided, I'm not telling Kel this.
Yeah. Anyway, Vin then goes to meet Shan and Ariel to tell her that she found
my least favorite character outside of Reen.
Yeah, and Shan...
I'll be honest, this entire subject, this entire small short section can be described as something's up.
Yeah.
But also, Shan's a word I'm not gonna say.
Yes. I completely agree with that word. Shan...
Oh, you don't know which words I'm saying now. Many words I could be using, but I'm deliberately no longer using those words.
Cool. Anyway.
Good. Okay. May I start this next section with a... The second I clocked the next section, I was like... that this is either a really good sign or a really bad sign.
Yeah.
Because I went... Basically, my brain went, wait, new perspective? New perspective? When we're 70% through the book,
yeah.
Basically, my mind went, okay, don't think of A Song of Ice and Fire. Don't think of A Song of Ice and Fire and what happens to people who have one perspective. My nerves skyrocketed when this part began. Because of like, why would we be following Elend?
That is a very
surely we wouldn't be killing Elend off right now. But the problem is, I don't know where this story is going anymore.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Let's start that section with Alan Venture, who has finished this meeting and is just sitting around with his friends, thinking about philosophers and how they were executed for treason, thinking about Vin. And that's when his friends start talking to him about Valette, saying that she is not trustworthy.
Yes.
And that she's using Elend, basically.
And the things they're pointing out are logical.
Yeah, they are very logical. And given what Justice finds out later, that will only heighten their suspicion, which makes complete sense.
What I will point out is what happens in chapter 30 is even when Vin reveals something, they still think it's this is the reason why Renew brought her. And I'm like, oh, you don't know half.
Yeah.
But it was very noticed. It's logical. She's literally perfectly designed for Elend. Yes, that's called romantic tension in a book.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I liked where this was going, and I like the next section even more. Because, sure, like, Elend keeps thinking about it, and I did not clock that as the most interesting part just yet. That will come at the end of this chapter. It was when he came home.
Yeah.
And we got a good view of what a piece of crap Strathventure is.
Yeah. The moment Elend sort of reaches home, Strathventure calls him. Like.
Yeah, and what I will say is, this is what I mentioned about why this house Venture know what happens to the Tikiels. That they have a Kandra named Tensun,
who's taking the appearance of
a servant in a Hastings household.
Yeah.
And as it's the perfect example of the nobility not paying attention to the scar.
Yeah. This is the second Kandra we have met.
Yes. The other one is Renew. Monsieur Mustache.
Yeah. Very much.
It's a short thing, and you do need to clock it, but I do find that very interesting.
Yeah.
Especially, as we know, Renew doesn't dare enter Luthadel.
No.
Which tells me this thing is probably not permitted.
I mean...
But,
given... Yeah, I mean, if people knew that Venture has a Kandra,
bad. Because everyone becomes suspicious.
Yeah.
But remember how I said at one point that the reason that Elend was ignoring Vin was because he told his father not to interact with Vin?
So we get the confirmation. Yeah.
Pretty much the easiest thing I could have guessed.
The first thing that Strathventure asks him if he's still meeting with that girl.
No. What did you learn at the ball is the first question. And Elend, being Elend, makes a joke because he's far too drunk.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he keeps making jokes throughout this sort of section where he's talking about with his dad. Mostly sort of as a defense mechanism.
Yes, but it's also at this point, Elend, you clearly think you've changed, but your attitude towards your father hasn't changed.
No.
That's why your father doesn't see you change, because you don't change in front of him.
Yeah, you revert back to that old rebellious...
No, he doesn't. He doesn't revert back to him. He just keeps up the defenses.
Yeah, fair.
He doesn't allow his intelligence in politics show. Not that he's the greatest at this, he's still naive, but...
Yeah, I mean, he's still learning. Like clearly Strathventure doesn't really think him worthy enough to involve in the politics. So he has to learn somewhere, and that's why he's learning slower than what Strathventure would like. It's basically Strathventure not including him, which is hampering Elend in the eyes of Strathventure. So it's his own fault, technically.
Now we get to an interesting moment. Elend is told, you're going to a lunch point. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, you're not. I'm like, okay, interesting. I didn't see where this was going at this point.
Yeah.
Then we get to a very interesting point.
Yeah.
Ellen mentioning the thing Vin was spreading rumors about at the ball. She did not tell Ellen this.
No.
She told Kliss.
Yeah, it
which
spread
means
like wildfire.
the word spread. So this worked. It spread.
But that's the thing.
House Hastings will now have to nip this in the bud.
But that's the thing. In the chapter 38, Klish mentions that she knew it was a lie.
And she knew it was fake. That does not mean everyone knew it was fake.
Yeah, so despite that, she was spreading it like everywhere.
A wildfire. But yeah, I mean, this is basically just basically a thing of, yes, Straff, we get it. You are a god-awful father.
Yeah, he outright wishes Ellen be dead, which is
Which is where I clocked.
Yeah.
I mean, my brain went, that's a bad sign in a period where there's rising assassinations. That's a bad sign.
And 2 chapters later, we get the conclusion.
The next, yeah, and it's like, But Ellen goes to bed, and he's like, I can finally go to bed.
That's when
Nope.
Justice arrives.
Justice Lacal is here.
Yeah. And
at this point, I went,
something has happened.
Yeah, I was like, what happened? Did something happen to the Licals or something? No. Justy did a logical thing for the nobility.
Yeah, follow.
He said spies after Finn.
Yeah.
It's the most normal thing these nobility have done in a while. And immediately, she was not in the carriage as it left the city. And that means House Renew has a contact in the city.
Yeah.
Where she stays. Yeah. And God damn it, Cal, this is your fault.
Yeah, I mean, they don't know it's Vin is meeting the Scar, like the Scar crew, thieving crew.
But it's one of those things. Oh no, because it's like, yeah, this is they really should have thought about this. Nobility has spies. Vin is mysterious. They're going to follow her. It's an oversight, which makes sense for Scar.
And given what happens afterwards, with Ellen sort of going to
Trust
his
me,
bed.
I think I know exactly what happened.
Yeah.
With
going to his bed.
I just went, oh no. And then the chapter ends.
Yeah, ends with him sending a message.
With Ellen sending spies after Vin. And I was just like, shit.
What do you think? I mean, the spies will only discover that she's going to Club's shop.
That's the thing. I think the only thing it would be is that I think the problem is it would heighten the fear for Ellen that House Renew is behind the house wall.
Yeah.
I highly doubt he thinks Vin has an active part in it. Of course she does, which is really fucking funny. But it is very. He wouldn't think about he's dealing with Scar thieving bands, because Club's shop is a highly praised shop.
Yeah,
he's a high skilled craftsman and crew, so he wouldn't be thinking about that.
No, but he will realize that Vin is meeting the Scar, and that's one thing that has always fascinated. Ellen.
She's House Renew has contacts with the Scar.
Okay,
if only to keep her in the city. He might consider the idea that she might be an Elementor. I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it as well.
But this felt very important. And it is. We learned that literally in 2 chapters.
Anyway, in the epigraph, the author says that the others wanted him to execute Quan for betraying him, but he couldn't do it. And now he cannot find where Quan is. Apparently, Quan suddenly decided that the author wasn't the hero of ages and denounced him at the Conclave of Worldbringers, which is a very fancy name. And we haven't really encountered it anywhere.
Yeah, a very fancy name for I feel is a political body.
Yeah. Anyway, the other thing
I don't have a right to say a damn thing considering what I've named the elven governmental structures in my story.
Yeah.
So
but anyway, the author thinks that even if he isn't the hero of ages, surely his presence at the Well of Ascension cannot be worse than no one being there and deepness being let loose on the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, logical.
Yeah, it's logical. And let's go to chapter 29, because we've now talked quite a while about this alone.
Yeah.
This wasn't even the most action-packed chapter.
Yeah. Chapter 29, we begin with Vin reading the logbook. And
yeah, and I clocked immediately. I mean, I suspect there's nothing more after this.
Yeah.
If only because it felt like someone who already suspected he would not write anymore.
Yeah.
He's laying everything out. I spotted one thing, though.
Go ahead.
If men read these words, let them know that power is a heavy burden. Seek not to be bound by its change. The terrorist prophecies say that I will have the power to save the world. They hint, however, that I have the power to destroy it as well. We've seen that one before.
Yeah. So
and I think it's not the first time, basically, that's happened. I'm like, oh my.
No, I mean,
but we get the full. We get the full prophecy.
Yeah.
We get that. We get I will have the ability to fulfill any wish of my heart. He will take upon himself authority that no mortal should hold. Yeah. Yet the philosophers warned me that if I am self-serving with the power, my selfishness will taint it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair,
that's
one thing.
Very blatant.
It's very blatant, but it also applies to Kelsier in this current situation.
Oh yeah, you're not wrong.
This is what I was wondering when I was reading that part.
But I will say this: what Kel wants to rule at the end is not the final empire.
No. He wants to break
That's the big
chains
thing
of the final empire, which is
he wants to break the final empire.
Yeah, which is quite interesting. Anyway.
And also, Kel is far more aware of what's happening than the Lord Ruler was.
Yeah. Another thing that is interesting is the book begins with them being close to the caverns, and the author can feel the deepness in his mind. Apparently, a creature made of mist stabbed someone called Fedek, which is quite interesting.
We've had the mist thing mentioned before. But I will also point out that the Lord Ruler can feel the evil thing still in his mind is very similar to Vin being able to feel the presence of the Lord Ruler even when she shouldn't because of copper.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Like, that feels deliberate. That's a deliberate comparison again.
Yeah.
And again, as I said, Vin definitely feels something when she shouldn't.
I mean,
Kel's not feeling it.
We will see in the next chapter as well something that happens.
You mean that Vin's more powerful than she should be?
Yes.
Considering how tiny she is described to be?
Yes. Anyway. This is where we also get the mention of saving up heat to use later, which is how the terrorist men seem to be surviving the cold. And they're hesitant to speak of this power because of Rasek.
Yes, which is exactly says it is also very hesitant.
Yes.
But it's Vin, and as literally Kel recently said, what have we done? And also, once we end this, tomorrow it will end.
Yeah.
Vin wants to read more. Vin was earlier complaining about how dry the book was.
Yeah, see, when the book
Vin now
ends.
Vin is... But when she gets to the whole thing of saying, there is no more, this is the end of it, and Vin saying, but this can't be where it stopped, it feels very familiar to a certain series of 5 books where we're still waiting for the 6th book 40 years later.
But those are excellent.
But I also spotted...
Dry.
No. Says it's joke, like a joke about like become too fond and you might just turn into a scholar, and not if all books and like I read and I later I'm like, you didn't deny it, Finn.
No.
You like reading. Just admit it. Like
Yeah.
that became very evident from this. The thing, she's never read for her entertainment. That's the thing.
I mean, to be fair, it's very early on, and the things that were written for entertainment were very few and far between. It was mostly
Yes, but she might have more things she is interested in, and she doesn't know about it yet.
Yeah, fair.
For all we know, Vin will. At the end of this book ends with Vin becoming the greatest accountant of all time. You're welcome. I'm getting far better at breaking you during these recordings.
Oh yes. I mean, I break very easily. You should ask one of our friends. Which
I know you break very easily.
Anyway,
I've known you for years, but I like how it's basically like the only one who's really gotten anything out of this is says it, and he like and he's apologetic about it. Don't be.
Mm-hmm.
You've learned something your people have lost.
Yeah.
Even if it's very little, you've still learned something.
Yeah. Caesar then says that what he has learned, he has sent a copy of it to his like Terraceman brothers, the keepers. And
brethren and sister keepers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that this information should not die with him. To which Finn says that it won't, and says that this is where we get a very like funny bit of Caesar saying that Vin has turned into an optimist, and Vin saying if Caesar
yes, and has my Terraceman suddenly become a smart mouth?
And Caesar retorts with, he always was, that add to the bane of his masters.
I will say this. I think what Vin is saying here is that the crew already knows about it and they can spread it. I also think that she has half a mind of giving a copy of this book to Ellen.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it.
Just say it was found in a dusty part of the library of House Renew.
No, but again, such an interesting book about Lord Ruler being found in House Renew makes no sense.
Or say it's like House Renew at one point purchased a keep of an old house that has long gone extinct or something. And
yes.
Just make up a story. Ellen wouldn't spread it anyway.
No.
You can make up a story, but she's definitely wants to give the book to Ellen.
Yeah, that would make sense given like Ellen's
it would be a very good way of undermining the Lord Ruler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, spreading his story.
Don't even mention it's the Lord Ruler because it becomes evident. Give it to nobles and don't mention it's the Lord Ruler and they can come to the conclusion on their own.
Yeah, pretty much. Given the story is not the same, everyone knows he defeated the deepness, and the story in this logbook is of defeating the deepness.
And everyone knows that there were friends of his who became the great houses.
Yeah.
And I presume the nobility knows what happened to the terracemen.
Yeah.
To some extent, at least.
To some extent. It makes sense.
But
this is where Finn says that she doesn't want things to change because she likes her new life. And that if things go as planned, she'll have to go back to the way it used to be. And
I just felt a lot for Vin here, and I'm like, oh, Vin.
Yeah, and this is
she's still. Yeah. The thing is, if in a year they all are still alive, the plan didn't work, you wouldn't be on your own.
No,
because you'd still be with Kel and Docs.
Yeah, and if the plan worked, which Vin surmises, if that plan works, everyone will move on to new jobs, and she'll be left alone.
No. She's literally like, even if we aren't all dead, that is indicating that's not even indicating the plan might work. Because Caesar is the one who says, well, perhaps the rebellion is ruling the city next year. So Vin remains pessimistic, but she doesn't mention she doesn't even actually mention it failing anymore. Yeah,
but Caesar does say that things can change for the better, and Vin says that it probably won't, and they'll probably fail. She does mention fail.
Yeah.
To which Caesar says that just enjoy what you have currently, and he goes on another rant about another religion. Yeah.
It's instead of memento mori, carpe diem.
Yeah.
which was drummed into my head in secondary school as that was a very important change in people's thinking. I'm like, in the nobility's thinking.
In the nobility's thinking, exactly.
That wasn't mentioned.
Yeah. Anyway.
But then we get Sazed mentioning yet again another religious group.
The Astolfi.
And I have to agree with Vin. This group does sound very simple.
Yeah.
But simple-minded in their belief on luck. There is a finite amount of bad luck. Okay, but that indicate there should not be a finite amount of luck.
Yeah.
and say it being like a lot of the science like we use currently that's still used. I'm like, great. Doesn't mean it wasn't simple.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. The religion does have its benefits because they, as you said, they were very advanced and they sort of tracked colors and stuff. So the sky being blue and the trees being green are all mentioned in their dogmas, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, the way they know about light is from these people. I'm like, wait, they know about this much about light. I'm like, Newtonian?
Yeah, it's more or less Newtonian.
That's I was about to say that. Didn't Newton do something with prisms?
He split the light into physics. He split the light into the band of 7 colors, and
I think that's what they must have discovered.
That would make sense.
That is advanced, but then again, this is a world that's basically semi-19th century.
Yeah,
but also 18th century.
Yeah, but also
with weapons from the 14th.
Yeah, but that's the thing. This world has been stuck in the same time period for 1,000 years at this point, which is also why there hasn't been really much progress in 1,000 years.
Yeah, the fact that they're still using the technologies from 1,000 years ago, and as we later learn at the end, the maps from 1,000 years ago.
Exactly.
Also, there was another thing. Sorry, I forgot to mention. It is so when the Lord Ruler is reading in the writing in the last section. It is so cold. When this is finished, I think I should like to live where it is warm all year.
Yes.
Brakis has told me of such places. Islands to the south where great mountains, great fire. This thing with the deepness destroyed more of the world than we think because that perfectly described the central dominance.
Yeah.
Which is a landmass.
Yeah.
With lakes. At least one big lake. The sea level dropped.
Yeah.
Massively. And considering this world is clearly colder, they're in an ice age. Or in a nuclear winter, basically.
Currently?
With all the ash in the... with the entire world. With all the ash in the air, that's blocking out the sun, effectively.
Yeah, I mean, we do know that
the
sun is more red
colder.
Than it
should be. Lot colder.
And
if these islands are so far to the south, that they are warm all year, and Vin mentions that it is a mild winter because there is little snow.
Vin also hasn't really seen snow.
No, but to be fair, there's ash everywhere.
Yeah, fair. No, but she does say.
And she lived in cities. Usually in hideouts. Yeah. Sorry, this is not a person who's been outside much.
Yeah, fair.
Comparatively.
Yeah, but
it's it feels like this world is basically permanently stuck in some form of ice age. Remember also that the terracemen, the lands of the terracemen were described as green hills. And they are now a tundra.
Yeah.
Not a wasteland, specifically tundra.
Yeah, it's some kind of like a very, as you said, some kind of ice age.
An ice age that had a worse effect on humanity than the little ice age did in real history. But not as close, not a full-blown ice age as we had 12,000 years ago.
No. Yeah, it's quite
somewhere in between, basically.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Anyway, they talk about the Stalsi for a bit.
Yeah, Ferrokemi time. It's time for Ferrokemi.
Yeah, Vin then asks about Ferrokemi and says it that this time happily starts telling her more about it.
It's Vin's ability to get anything out of anyone.
Yeah, basically.
Just like how Ellen trusts her enough to tell her about the ATM.
Kelsey has trusted her
to
enough to tell her about like how Mare died and stuff. Yeah, the flower. So yeah, she's very good at like establishing connections with people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then Cedric tells her about what can you do with feruchemy, like store memories, increase power, make yourself heavier, and even change your age, which is what Finn latches onto.
But only temporarily.
Only temporarily, because you have to live. You have to live like
it's a good
40 years. Yeah, if you're 30 years old, you have to live like a 40-year-old to feel like a 20-year-old for the same amount of time.
Yeah, which makes sense. It's the same thing of balance and everything.
Yeah, so it's
about to be broken.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That is, again, this is not immortality. So
no, it's not what the Lord Ruler does.
It's not what the Lord Ruler does, exactly. And this balance is somehow broken by the Lord Ruler.
Yeah. I don't know. Is that lightning? Oh, shit. Is that lightning? Oh, yeah, there's lightning coming.
Interesting.
I didn't know. I thought it was going to be dry all day, and then it started raining earlier.
Anyway, let's move on. And then...
Yeah.
Then Vin asks...
We had an interest... If she can have some of Sazed's metal, and she tries to burn some of the pewter, and I immediately clocked that what Sazed explains...
Yeah.
Feels odd in how it definitely feels like this is setting something up.
Yeah, because you can see the power reserve. You just can't access it.
Yeah.
Which is what Sazed says, that if you use someone else's metal mines, you can see the power reserve. You just can't access it. Which is interesting. They are talking about this, which is when the carriage arrives and they go to the meeting.
Oh no, the carriage is already there. They're late.
Oh, they're late. Anyway, then we shift perspective.
Yet again, Vin being late, which there will be three chapters in a row of Vin being late. I will point that out.
Yeah, she's learning from Kelsey.
No. Next chapter, they're late. That's why they've missed things.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
They are late. That is a deliberate choice. Kel says about how being late isn't bad because it means you have more. If you don't always on time, you have nothing more important to do. We get her being late to the meeting with Ellen. We get them being late to the crew meeting, and we get them being late to the most important ball of them all.
Yeah, and then where they miss everything that is about the.
And then Vin is almost too late.
Yeah.
I will point that out.
Yeah.
It ends with Vin almost being too late.
Yeah, that is an interesting.
Hi, Kel. We haven't seen you in a bit.
Yeah, we moved to Kelsier, who has to sneak into his own house.
To his own house. I loved that. That joke, basically.
Yeah. I mean, he has become way too infamous at this point. He even mentions that he has to sneak into places and not be seen, basically.
Alan's concerns come back here. Come back.
Yeah.
House Renew is not protected.
No,
They are making critical mistakes.
Yeah, the way he is easily able to get onto the balcony, he realizes that others can as well.
Yeah, I know. He's like, okay, Vin needs to sleep in Club's shop every night.
Yeah, basically somewhere more protected than here.
But also, Renew doesn't have to is not threatened by assassination.
Yes, he does say that.
I clocked that.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not a living body then, is it? That's a zombie, effectively. And considering we know about it requiring the bones of someone, because they thought that might be about what the survivor was. It's like, so that's a host embodying a dead body.
Perhaps. We have had this being mentioned like 3 times now, so makes sense.
Yep. Yeah. Kel is his usual self.
Yeah, Doc's an open
As always, makes a comment about the clothing, and Kel just mentions how, I had to crawl, and I'm just like, Kel just goes into deliberately confusing things, and I'm just like,
yeah.
Really? He's just doing it to be annoying at this point.
Yeah, very much so.
But then we get into something so important. The map.
Yeah, this is where we
a high-quality map of the soothing stations and the missions of the Inquisitors.
Not just Inquisitors, the Obligators as well. So
yes. Marsh risked a lot.
Yes. But also,
and also
the speed that he has grown into the ministry, like how his stature has grown into the ministry.
It's because he's way more prepared than anyone else.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He has just joined
and
the ministry,
they know he's
not even a month ago.
Yes. It's been more than a month, I think, at this point.
Yeah, but still, he's still a very relatively new acolyte.
Actually, it's been far more than... No, the big thing is, he said that in the meeting, he's being liked because he's an Elementor, and he's powerful, and on top of all of that...
He knows a lot.
He knows a lot.
Yeah.
He is skilled. He's extremely skilled at what he's doing.
Yeah, he
However,
knows a lot
might also indicate something, that the ministry's resources are stretched.
Yeah.
And they want a powerful misting to use. Is your light doing all right?
I have no idea why it's happening.
But yeah, I think it's just because of that.
Yeah.
But
he knows a lot about the ministry. He knows a lot about the nobility because he grew up as one. And he also knows a lot about the Scar. So he knows about almost everything better than the most Obligators, which is probably why he's also gaining power so quickly inside the ministry. Do you think people would catch on to that?
Not if, as I'm suspecting, the ministry might be stretched, especially if they want more soothing stations. They're probably going to be stretched thin.
Yeah, makes sense.
This very much helps explain why the Lord Ruler has less control over the other regions.
Yeah, because even in Luthadel...
He's focusing all his power on Luthadel.
Yeah, I mean, we learned that there are 30 soothing stations, and there are 130 mistings or so that have been called in these soothing stations. When they are talking about taking down the soothing stations, they mentions that there are 130 or so mistings in total at all the soothing stations. Which they mentioned that the Lord Ruler might have had to gather mistings from all around Luthadel, not just Luthadel. Which
the entire central dominance.
Yeah, which is quite interesting.
Holy shit, also, the weather outside.
Yeah. To be fair, this
it's literally storming.
Yeah.
I can see it outside of my kitchen window.
This also tells us that there aren't as many mistings and mistspawns as we might have thought earlier.
There are. These are only the ones on the ministry. Not every nobleman wants to go into the ministry.
That is fair.
And they cannot. They don't force. And each of the great houses has a lot of people.
Yeah, fair.
So holy shit! The weather's. I've got to close my windows.
Okay.
Anyway, we can continue.
Yeah.
We learn about the some of the dates that happened because Vin notices something.
Yeah, this is when
Theron screws that.
Yeah, this is when Vin comes in, dressed as a nobleman.
Sorry, I did forget something.
Yeah.
I did forget something. When Vin asks, "What is this?" and she's wearing a pretty dress, because she's so comfortable in this, but she's not moving like a lady. She's moving like a predator.
Yeah.
But then this is very important.
Yeah.
He starts thinking about meh.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention
always
that
want a daughter you could teach to walk the line between noblewoman and thief. And this really throws into the thing of meh probably came from the nobility. And really pushes that narrative.
Yeah, I mean, so
that theory, because it's very obvious.
Yeah, so the most recent episode we released, we talk about exactly that, with Mare being from the nobility.
Oh, great, the robot episode.
Yes. Anyway, Yeah,
But yeah, Theron's crew's dead.
Theron's crew is dead.
Yeah,
and
if she could tell Vin things about being an Owen that says it cannot, then she must have more experience.
Yeah. I mean, she could also have been a handmaiden.
Maybe she might have been a servant in ability. But I feel like if she could teach her this, it would have been
nobility.
A full-blown noble. Probably not a big house.
No, minor noble somewhere definitely, but still rich enough to have a steward, as we like in the most recent episode we talked about.
Yeah.
Sazed being her steward. Before.
Sazed must come from somewhere, and it's very interesting that where Sazed has come from.
Yeah.
But Theron is dead.
Yeah, and Vin realized that the Inquisitors are still after her, and
it very much. Of course, Vin looks visibly sick because these were some of the people she knew.
Yeah, Kelsey, to be fair, instantly changes the topic, which is very good, I guess, and talks about taking down.
Well, he does that because there was little they can do about it.
Yeah, but he also sees the discomfort on Vin's face and sort of changes the topic. Anyway, they talk about taking out the soothing stations. Ham proposes to use the army, but Cal says that we should use the thieving crews instead because they are faster and more capable at taking out the soothing stations.
Yes. And it's also one of those things where, Cal, I have a feeling I know what you're doing here. Because yes, the Inquisitors would respond immediately afterwards, wiping out most of the powerful thieving crews, right as you seize control of the city.
Yeah.
See what you're doing, Cal. I see what you're doing. You're being sneaky about it, but I have a feeling I know what you're doing.
No, to be fair, he also doesn't want the other part of the army to die. That's why he's using
but it's also very clear that, well, if I can eliminate some of the crime...
Fair. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is when Breeze objects, saying that why Kelsier is sending Doxson and Breeze to meet the army. And Kelsier says that they need to know who their leaders are. If one of you gets indisposed, the others can take charge. And Breeze says, why don't you? And Kelsier doesn't really answer it.
He says, bear with me. And Breeze gets annoyed and goes really quickly change the topic. And I'm wondering, and I do feel like this might just be a thing of Kel knows about his reputation.
Yeah.
And if he goes to visit the army, he risks stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
And also, he knows full well that his army is already fully enamored with him. They see him, they are loyal to Kel. Probably best not to reinforce that if he doesn't want to end up like the Lord Ruler.
Yeah. Anyway.
Vin's a good liar.
Then he asks Vin.
He asks Vin if she learned anything. It's like, no.
No.
But she's like, no. And it's like, and if girl just said, blasted girl's far too experienced for a liar.
Yeah. Which is quite.
And I'm just here sitting like, yeah, this is fun.
Yeah. Anyway, that's when meeting sort of continues, and we move on to later in the night where Kelsey is not able to sleep. So he
and he can't roam the manor because he's too well known.
Yeah. Also, he goes to the balcony, but apparently gets spotted by one of the guards who tells Caesar, and Caesar comes running to it.
Yeah, I get the full feeling like that this is just... Caesar gets informed of this, the guard leaves, Caesar turns around and sprints.
Fair. Caesar knocks and Caesar says that to not go on the balcony either. And Kelsier shies, but then he asks Caesar for new religions to sort of soothe him, I guess.
Yeah, and we learn about the Bennets.
Yeah, who apparently made a lot of maps. Yeah, the
Portuguese. I was going to say, this is just the Portuguese.
Yes, very much so.
And I love the fact that the maps the final empire uses are still ones made by the Bennett. Says a hell of a lot about how important exploration is for the final empire.
But that's the thing. Exploration also halted after the Ascension. Because the maps, they are not being updated, so they are still the ones that were made by the Bennett. They have
no, which is the weird thing of but also the Bennett were highly developed people who lived on the southern islands. And hey, there's others islands with the there's others islands with the fire mountains.
Yeah, and this is the southern islands technically. Then we learn about the Vala as well, and Cezit asks, what do you want to learn about the Vala? And Kelsius says he doesn't know. So
you ask him what made them keep going after their leadership was killed.
Yeah, so Cezit does say that they had belief in their leaders. So even after they were slaughtered by the rulers,
they had saints, martyrs.
Yeah, and that's basically why they kept going. And Kelsius says that he just needed to be reminded that people fought on even when things looked dire and hopeless. And Cezit says he understands as the chapter ends. In the epigraph, the author talks about how most Terrismen are not like Rasek, though they do believe him. The Terrismen do not understand that the prophecy says the hero of ages will be an outsider. they only see that.
Oh boy, that's such a common thing when it comes to prophecies and sayings like, oh, this person will specifically be an outsider. No.
It can mean a lot. Yeah, it can mean a lot of things.
But this is not the first time the word dominant is explicitly used.
That's the same, yeah.
And the regions of the empire are called the dominances.
Yeah, Rasek wants the Terrismen to be the dominant force because they are the powerful. They have been for far too long been a slave to others, and that is
even more so. He sees it as always having been that they have been completely mistreated. But from what we know of what the Lord Ruler has, Rasek is misrepresenting what happened.
Yeah, basically.
That's not the case. He hates the Glenny, but he treats everyone like the Glenny.
Yeah, but it's interesting that the Lord Ruler in this journal says that Rasek wants to be the dominant, when clearly he goes on to establish dominances.
It's just, I have a feeling that most of the Terrismen eventually turned against the Lord Ruler. That's very obvious from what happened to the Terrismen.
Yeah.
And he used... Don't forget, we know from Cezit that the language spoken in the Final Empire is a dialect of the Terris language. So... He stole their language. He stole their phrasing and turned it into his own.
Anyway.
And then the line, before such passion and hatred, even good men can be deceived. And you're gonna have to probably cut this, but I've not seen a phrase so apt for the current times.
That's not gonna get cut. Anything after this is gonna get cut.
No. I'm not going to say more. I don't have more. That's just a blatant statement.
Yeah, chapter 30.
Everything falls apart, basically.
Yeah, we start with the ball at Cape Venture, and then again...
And it starts pretty normal.
Yeah.
And again, we start a ball with a description of the place. And I like it. It's a very good way of starting a ball chapter. It's a logical through line.
Yeah.
But Vin notices shit's off. Yeah. Real quick.
Very quickly.
Everything's too perfect. And importantly, there are no regular soldiers at the doors.
There
are haze killers.
And there are too many people here. That is something that
everyone's here. Every nobleman of importance is here, which is why I'm really annoyed that Vin didn't immediately clock that Shan's missing.
Yeah.
Shan has always been described as being in a group of people somewhere in the middle.
She's always trying to be the center of attention. Yeah.
Shan's not here. Everyone else is here.
Yeah.
That's a bad sign. And I fully believe that her house is fully expecting her to be revealed this night.
I mean,
purely
yeah.
because she's missing. She's missing from the most important night of the year.
Yeah, sort of.
They might not think she's a Mistborn, but her house will immediately be suspicious.
Yeah, I mean, Ilariel is not trying to make any connections at this moment, basically, which is what everyone is doing. So yeah, that will definitely be a giveaway that something is afoot.
Well, it will be an even bigger giveaway because at the end of this chapter has a bloody corpse. Multiple. She pretty much killed that entire group.
Yeah.
She killed that entire group.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that.
Anyway.
He says as he spikes the sound.
She talks to Sazed and mentions that there is something going on. And Sazed says that he should go to the steward dinner and find out what is happening.
Yeah, and Vin immediately goes, and I will skip dinner.
Yeah.
Because we're late anyway. And it was the thing of saying we're late, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Yeah, basically. Anyway.
But I love Sazed's comment. I remember a time when you would never skip a meal, and that is very true. Mm-hmm. And Vin says it in a blunt manner, but it's a joke.
Yeah.
Just be glad I never tried to stuff my pockets full of food.
I mean, we have been in her head, and she has done that like at least twice in our. Like...
She's hidden bay wraps.
Yes.
But it's a very clear thing of Vin is so comfortable with Sazed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she doesn't clock that. Like, she doesn't see Kliss, but Kliss is always hanging around on the sidelines talking.
Yeah.
But Shan's always visible.
Mm-hmm.
So I clocked, okay, this is going to go bad, because if Shan's missing and everyone else is here, that's not a good sign.
Yeah. She starts mingling with people, and when she doesn't really...
Nobody wants to talk to her.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to talk to her.
Yeah.
Absolutely nobody.
To be fair, it's not that nobody wants to talk to her. It's more that they want to establish alliances more like they want to separate themselves from other alliances, basically.
Yes, but it's what's very important is that one person in the group she first talks to, like, it's a half-hearted look of apology. It's like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah. Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's not that they don't want to talk to her. It's just that they have to make alliances at this point. It's it has boiled over a lot.
Yeah. And what I like is Vin clocks really well. Something's wrong, but we don't know what, because nobody's told us anything. Again, House Renew's neutrality is really messing with them.
Yeah, she gets fed up with this and goes to the balcony to get a better view.
Doesn't find Ellen there, which causes a bit of a huh? She looks over and she sees Ellen sitting with his father.
Yes. And this she is shocked at, because Ellen never sits with his father.
Never. I must be later. He's dressed up. Mm-hmm. His hair's been done. My alarm bell started running immediately, and we'll get to it when we talk. And I think I know what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but we'll get to it. We first have the return of Sazed.
Yeah, Sazed arrives.
Also, Vin has spotted Kliss.
Mm-hmm.
Important for later. Mm-hmm. Kliss follows her, by the way. Sazed returns, and they've missed a very important announcement. It's the one ball they shouldn't have been late for.
Yeah, it's the last ball of the
House Hastings has cancelled. Mm-hmm. That's happened before. That's logical. Mm-hmm. But House Alariel has cancelled. Tekiel would come next, and they are defunct. House Shuna has announced they are not holding any more balls.
No. This
is the last ball.
Basically.
The house war is starting.
Yeah.
It's going quicker than Kel expected.
Kel wanted to start a house war in 2 months. It has been barely a month since
the return. It's not. I don't think it's been a month.
It's been like a couple of weeks.
We have the ball in chapter 28. And that was the ball we talked about in chapter 27.
Mm-hmm.
So we had that. Mm-hmm. That was a week after.
Yeah.
And these balls are held on the record each week.
Yeah.
This is the next ball.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Also, by the way, Vin at one point says in the last chapter, I love going to the balls with Ellen on the weekends.
Yeah. So it's weekends.
And
basically.
the love is emphasized.
Yeah.
The love is emphasized.
Yeah. I mean, even later in this chapter, she outright says, "I love him."
Yes, but it's not been a month since their return.
Mm-hmm.
Things are escalating way quicker than they'd expected.
Yeah.
Even more so, they're unaware. Their entire network is unaware.
Mm-hmm. That
Kel presumably went out the preceding week. No hint.
Yeah, and we do know that Kel is having difficulties going into like manors now, keeps now, because they have way too many guards now.
Yes, but it's, and I love this thing of, we made Renew to neutral a force.
Mm-hmm.
And that's correct.
That's correct.
They told Vin not to make alliances.
Mm-hmm.
That was a mistake.
Anyway.
Also, by the way, how is Renew looks even more suspicious when you remember they bought arms.
Yeah, I mean, even Kliss outright says that what you said about Hastings was
how Hastings which has a strong grasp of the arms market.
Yeah.
Funny. But I like how Finn is like, no, I cannot go because it will be too suspicious.
Yeah, Sazed says that he has
we
to
already
inform
did
Kelsey.
Yeah, and he said, hire a carriage and go tell Kelsey. And Sazed is hesitant, but Finn's like, plenty of people come without the terrorism says, go.
Yeah, I mean, she also knows that Kelsey needs to know this because, as Sazed said, he's also going out as informant tonight. An informant not knowing things,
especially of this import,
would be very suspicious.
Yeah, it's one thing to not know stuff about the survivor. It's another to not know about the balls are cancelled, the war started.
Yeah.
But
when
it gets
after Sazed leaves.
Yeah, at this point I was like, oh, I know. Yep, Finn, darling.
She starts spiraling.
She starts spiraling like crazy.
Yeah, and oh my god. She
it's adorable what she's thinking.
Yeah. She thinks that she'll have
what
to
I will
return.
Sorry, I forgot something to point out in the last ball chapter.
What?
Ellen almost kisses her, and on that night she's wearing a pure white dress.
Yes. Yes.
That is probably not a symbol in this world.
No.
But boy oh boy is it a symbol in R.
Yes.
Vin started caring about her appearance. She says like this dress beautifies it, accentuates her thin upper torso. It's like okay, too much info, but yeah, sure.
I mean, she says she likes wearing gowns, going to balls, and now
I'm just here like,
be taken from her, basically.
Her fear from last chapter is partly coming true already.
Yeah, though she does think back to Sazed's world that change is vital, that change is inevitable, and that comforts her somewhat, but then she pivots to confronting Ellen.
Which is a logical thing to do.
Yeah.
And everything about Ellen raises alarm bells. And basically the second Ellen basically says, I have to cut ties between us, I went, Straff threatened Finn. I immediately went, the only reason Ellen is doing it this way, is responding to his father this way, is because Straff threatened Finn's life.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I can see for Ellen doing this. Because this is not the Ellen we know. And that's not been an act. We know that from his own perspective.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, he does say that he knows Finn lied. Now, it's not the same lie that he's talking about and Finn is talking about.
It's even more important. I'm not angry or even disappointed. I expected it.
Yes.
He's not angry or disappointed about it. And I fully believe him in this regard.
Yeah.
In fact, I fully believe he's beating himself up for not expecting this in actuality. But he's wrong about what it is.
Yeah. Though the next sentence is probably the most heartbreaking sentence. when he says that he doesn't want to embarrass her in public and leaves.
Which is another sign. He literally out of this. I won't lie and claim I never cared for you. I did, and I still do. He's giving her the hints, and he's not doing this of his own free will.
No. To be fair, he's also.
We do know.
He's also somewhat
but
like.
Also,
he wants answers, but he doesn't want to.
He can't push.
He can't push it.
Not now. Not especially not now. But all Vin would have to say is say, there are many nights when I am too tired after a ball that a carriage ride would exhaust me and I would have to be carried up the stairs at our home. So my uncle has arranged for me to have a safe space in the city. Unfortunately, we do not have allies.
Yeah, but like at this point,
even something like that.
Enough.
But she's not thinking straight. She feels numb, but then she's too angry, too frustrated, and too terrified. She whispers that she doesn't want him to leave him. She says, "Don't you leave me too." And that broke me.
Yeah.
Because I knew exactly what was coming next.
Yeah, and Vin is broken as well. And the moment
she breaks into her heart shatters and she doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
And then the worst thing possible happens.
Reen's voice.
A voice she had nearly forgotten. Reen's voice.
Returns.
But Vin won't let it destroy her.
No. To be fair,
she's stronger than her brother's words.
Yeah. Reen's voice does tell her that everyone will betray you. And somehow this voice feels very real to her. But this sentence that he says is probably the most, like, the thing that most annoys Vin is, I never returned and neither will he.
And I just went, I mean, if Shan's plot plan goes through, it won't.
Anyway,
we'll get to that.
Yeah, Vin steals herself, which, yes. Anyway, no. Vin steals herself, saying that she won't let Ellen break her. And that's when Kliss arrives and completely sort of derails whatever Vin was trying to do next.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously, Kliss does help in her own messed up way.
Yes. She
Vin wouldn't have known without Kliss.
Yes.
So bravo, Kliss.
I mean,
we'll hand you a short applause.
So Kliss begins the conversation with like tearing up the facade of being a gossiping fool, but she is a gossiping fool.
Kliss's words immediately send of alarm bells in Vin. Vin immediately, something's wrong. And I went, damn it!
Yeah.
Vin missed a clue. She must have. But Kliss is a far better actor. Because she is a gossiping fool.
Yeah.
But she knows she's a gossiping fool.
Yes.
And she uses that.
Yeah.
And that is why her mask is real.
Yeah.
But
that's when she tells that.
Yeah.
Ellen, basically, she tells Vin that Ellen will not see the day of tomorrow. Basically, that's exactly what she says. And
she's basically implying like, oh, House Renew might be behind the attack on the Hastings body that Ellen told you about. And I just went, oh boy, Kliss has also been spreading rumors about House Renew.
Yeah, she outright says that Renew has no allies. If you want information, you'll have to go somewhere. I am here. Yeah, especially with no balls. And everything goes wrong, basically, from here. Yeah. Vin,
but
obviously...
Kliss is arrogant. Kliss is an arrogant fool. She says something. If she'd not said the name Shan, Vin would have turned away.
Yeah.
And immediately, Vin just goes at it.
Yeah. And first of all...
Vin says, screw it!
To be fair, she starts with giving her a sapphire, just to know what is going to happen to Ellen. And Kliss just says that Ellen will get what he deserves. And...
Yes.
Ellen, this is where we learn that Ellen is going to be assassinated. And
yes,
Vin loses it at this point, and she.
But I will point out, Vin, she only learns it after she's burns both zinc and brass. But what I will point out, Kliss does not realize she's a Mistborn.
No, she only thinks that
only in Elemental. I fully believe Kliss only believes that Vin's a rioter.
Yeah, a rioter or a...
not a suit. But Vin does something that Cal wouldn't do on a pinch. He's not the same in this regard. On a pinch, he goes soothe away every emotion and heighten the fear. Vin does something that Cal can do that.
Yeah,
but it wouldn't be his first instinct.
That's what I'm saying. Cal doesn't know the nuances of elements. Like, he knows a lot about like steel pushing and iron pulling and pewter and tin, but the other metals he doesn't know the nuances of.
It's also why at this point I do think that Shan knew Vin was an element.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I fully suspect it
because
Vin's but I think what Shan might think she's a soother.
Perhaps, but like
because soothers are very experienced at countering soothers, and Vin absolutely countered soothers.
Yeah, she did. That's definitely.
Like, it was very obvious in the way it was phrased, but even still, we then learn like Alarial elements will assassinate Elend, and I went, I know where this chapter's going, but I hadn't yet clocked Shan's a Mistborn.
Yeah, to be fair, what's more egregious that we learn next is that Straff Venture is complicit in it.
The thing is, Straff's not actively involved.
No, he's just...
But he learned of this plot, and I fully believe he knew about that plot when he told Elend, I want you dead.
Yeah, I do think so as well.
He's let the guard... There are fewer soldiers than normal at Elend's room, and because it would happen during Elend's meeting, they go a Hastings and a Lee Cal, rivals of the Ventures. However, I think Straff is being very arrogant, because he is not realizing the effect this is going to have on his house purely on the basis of his heir and to somewhat heirs to other prominent noble houses in Luthadel will have, this is a bad thing for House Venture, and he doesn't see it.
I mean, Kliss does.
He is so obsessed.
Yeah.
Straff is so obsessed with getting rid of Elend, he's not thinking of the consequences, and that's before the books are involved.
Yeah, fair.
Which he should know about. That's bad for him. He doesn't know about those books.
Yeah, that is quite... I mean, to be fair, when in previous chapter, Elend entered Straff Venture's office, he saw rows of books, and he wonders if Straff has ever read one.
Yes, but it's still one of the things that he should have had a servant keep an eye on what Elend was reading.
Fair, but I think...
And he hasn't, because he's too arrogant, because he doesn't think books are important.
Basically.
It's very obvious. Basically, Vincent, I have to stop this, and Kliss says, Venture is a very old keep, and that, I think, is the first confirmation that the Ventures are a really old house.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And I now fully believe they have always mined the Lord from this ATM.
That would make sense.
I think they are one of the original houses.
Could be, yeah.
At least since ATM was discovered. Because we know the pits are near Luthadel.
Yeah.
Which means they would have not been discovered very early on. They are it's underground, Nemo.
Yeah.
And as far as I still think Elemency might not have been around before the Ascension.
That would make sense.
As I've said before, there is not a word about anything hinting at Elemency in the logbook.
Yeah, we get hints at Ferrichelli, but we don't get hints at Elements, which makes sense.
And he's a blacksmith's son. He should know about that.
Another thing that is interesting is that ATM is only found in those pits. We don't know if there is another mine for ATM anywhere in the world.
True. But shall we go to the sentence that I have a feeling made you roll your eyes?
No, it was fine. It was cheesy, but it was fine. Vin wonders why she's saving Elend Venture, and
she loves him.
That's where she realizes she loves
young
him.
love. It's young love, but it's love.
Yeah.
And immediately,
yeah, she leaves.
Vin runs out. Oh wait, and this is where Vin starts doing things that do not follow the rules of effectively equivalent exchange.
Yeah.
I love bringing in something from a Full Alchemist Brotherhood. It's like, equivalent exchange.
Yeah.
That's literally how the metals work. Especially steel and iron. It's equivalent.
Yeah.
Vin is fully she should not be able to do this. But this is massive.
Yeah.
She destroys a window.
And
it's like,
so much so that the door that she was sort of anchoring herself against starts breaking as well. Like she's breaking both of them at the same time.
Yeah. She just basically it's like, oh crap.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And everything, and it's like, uh-oh. And also, the second that window falls, the house wars has started.
I mean, it started when Tequil collapsed and died, but that's yes.
No, that wasn't the house war. That was the prelude to the house war. It's very explicit.
Fair.
A house war has to be unofficially declared, and it has to involve all the noble houses. It hasn't been. It's this night and partially Vin's actions that cause it, because
I mean, what happens?
She
next?
runs, but Vin is also very smart. She starts removing anything that restricts her movement, to the point where she's down to her underwear.
Yeah.
Which wasn't expecting it, but also, yeah, fair enough.
I mean, yeah, she is the kind of person who would do that.
But also, she doesn't have a mist cloak on her.
No.
She's completely exposed.
And that also hampers her later on, but yes. Vin jumps up to the roof and searches for the allomancers using her bronze. She cannot find them at first.
And again, she breaks the rules of elements.
Exactly.
Because they have a smoker on them.
Yes,
and yet she sees it.
She pierces through their copper cloud. And
I have a feeling, I think what's going on, Vin is we know that Vin is an exceptionally skilled elemental. I think what we're seeing here is that an exceptionally powerful Mistborn can somewhat break the rules of elemency.
See, that's the thing. Given the kind of things that have been established in this book, I think there's more to it than just breaking the rules of elements.
There might be, but I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, I mean, we need to learn more, but yes.
But it's very odd. Again, she's doing multiple things she shouldn't be able to do.
Yeah.
And it's but then, oh my god, she goes beast mode on these motherfuckers.
I mean, she.
Sorry, I'm rephrasing that. I've been watching too much Battlestar Galactica. Mother fracas.
Yeah, I mean,
I love how that show got away with so much of the use of by just changing it to frack.
Yeah. She notices the allomancers and she runs in the direction, and she sees several of them. Two of them being Mistborn. One of them being.
First of all, she
kills like half of them already.
Yeah, she pushes and she already started to do it. Figures cried out as coins hit flesh, and several of the dark forms dropped.
Yes.
And it's like, Vin! Jesus Christ!
To be fair.
And then one of the Mistborn she identifies, and it's mother fracking Shan Alariel.
And Shan also recognizes Vin, and she is also shocked at this. Which is
which is very funny.
Yeah.
It's a very funny moment in a very tense situation.
Both of them.
It's like, Vin is like, 2 Mistborn. That's not good.
Yeah, I mean, even then, she fights, and 2 of the thugs that she had dropped already get up, and she clears everyone but the Mistborn, like very easily.
Yeah, the big thing is one of them. She tosses off the building.
Yes, and poor Quine, he was only a Quine shot. He couldn't really do iron pulling, and so.
But then one of the other thugs, She slams into the man.
Yeah.
Which, considering how light she is, holy shit! And she knocks him into the skylight.
It's pewter versus pewter, basically. And
I think, but what I think is that Shan and the other Mistborn, they hadn't realized they hadn't heard the window breaking that Vin did. So they fully believe that the second this skylight is destroyed, they know they're doomed.
Yeah.
They know that.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Because people will put together. The thing is, until now, they could have. They will be found out, and there's only one house this could be. And the plan is.
I mean, to be fair, the people that are lying, their mistings, they will be recognized who they are because they
will be recognized as Alarial mystics. But also, like Shan's like you. She sputters. Shan sputters.
Yeah.
And then it's like, take the warning. And I like how in the audiobook it's very much saw through the teeth, like, take the warning, Alan, and escape. It's time for me to go.
Yeah, I mean,
and I love this. Vin knows full well this should be enough warning for Alan.
Yeah, and Vin knows that she cannot fight like two Mistborns, so she jumps away. It's just that the other Mistborns don't take the hint that they should go away.
The two Mistborn foolishly abandon their mission.
Yeah, and
because they are too they are shocked. And Vin thinks like, oh, Lord Vedger must think his son is dead. Yeah, he won't think that for very long. Second, and it's like everything's like it's chaos at this point.
Yeah, she starts
because
running.
When Vin lands, first we get a very interesting. Vin pulls on someone to get to the ground, to the walls, and she pulls on a poor unfortunate soldier with a metal breastplate.
Yeah, and one of the Mistborns behind her does the same, but she knocks him.
Yeah, she slams into his hand, which causes him to be released, and she thinks, sorry, friend. And I'm like, oh, Finn. But it's like, and the way it sounded, the way they felt, because they were unconscious, and they fell from a really ground, he can't burn pewter right now.
No.
They're dead.
They're dead.
She's killed a Mistborn.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
And then she's like, I hope that's Shan. And I was like, I don't think it is, because I know there's still parts of this chapter left.
Yeah. But like then she starts running on the wall and Shan drops in front of her.
She sees the nobility running for carriages.
Which makes sense.
Everyone's running away.
Which makes sense.
It's chaos. And so the house war starts.
Yeah.
Didn't think I'd be the one to officially begin it.
Yeah. Anyway. She starts running onto the wall and Shan drops in front of her with her glass daggers. And Vin
is also like, why did I not have Cal teach me more about dagger fighting?
She tries to fight with a staff, but she doesn't know how to fight with a staff either.
But she's holding her own.
Against a very well-trained Mistborn, which is...
Very well-trained, but she has a very big benefit, and that's how small she is.
Yes.
But she then remembers one thing she still has on her. ATM. But Shen also has ATM.
Yeah, so it's back to, like, square one.
I love this. A battle of ATM. And Finn is insanely smart in this battle.
Yes.
I will point out, I love that we finally have the revelation, oh, they do have archers.
Yeah, they just don't have any.
But why are they wooden tipped? For Christ's sake, obsidian exists.
Yeah, but it really depends on how much obsidian there is. If there isn't enough of
There's volcanoes everywhere!
Fair.
Also, plain stone would work fine.
Yeah.
Flint arrows.
Flint arrows are a thing, yeah.
It's one of those things where, okay, we're getting a little bit too much. I found this world building a little bit weak.
In this part, yes, definitely.
Because of the fact it's wooden points. And like, no, it would be stone. This is also, considering a lot of people don't wear metal armor, stone is also going to be a lot more effective than you think. Still, it's gonna struggle against leather, but it's still going to be more effective than a wooden stake.
Yeah. They're not vampires.
Shan might be.
Now she's more a zombie than a.
But
Anyway,
she does her best.
I like.
Vin does her absolute best.
I like how it's described in the book, where it's described as a Mistborn standoff. Clearly a play on Mexican standoff.
Yes. But also, I love Vin's strategy here. It's like, okay, she catches an arrow, which, yep, that's the whole thing. I recently saw something from a YouTube channel, which does it's sellswords arts, I think.
Yeah.
Which does martial arts stuff, HEMA stuff, and they literally had a thing about
catching
like
arrows.
It's great, like being able to like be quicker, but if you can't think quicker, it has no effect. And people in the comments are like, and this is why Mistborn has ATM, where yes, it gives you premonition of what someone is going to do. It also gives you the mental capacity to think about that.
Yeah, it gives you just that tiny bit of extra time to think about what you want to do. And
yeah, it makes your brain a supercomputer.
Yeah.
But she catches the arrow.
Yes.
And has completely tricked Shan.
100%.
Shan thinks she's out of 18, which means she now wins, basically.
And that's exactly.
She stabs her in the chest with the arrow, in the heart.
And not just once, twice.
No, she picks up a sword, uses it as a distraction, because she knows, and nobody would. Doesn't matter who you are, no matter how skilled you are. Basically, this danger will kill Shan. It's in the heart. They don't have the good surgery.
To be fair, they do have pewter, so that'll make her last longer.
But it will not be able to heal her body to this extent.
Fast enough, no.
A fatal injury is still a fatal injury.
Yes.
It will just take longer. And Shan's going to collapse quicker than she can get to her home deep.
Yeah.
But she uses the broken shaft to stab her again, and Shan is dead. She's killed Shan, but worst of all, she's killed a noblewoman.
Yes, and not just any
And people are going to find out it is Yvette because she's dropped her dress, which is recognizable. That some people at least are going to put this together.
Cliss would definitely know because she.
Cliss will. Venture will. Straff Venture will put this together. And he will be very annoyed.
Yeah.
Which also means Vallette's now in danger.
Yeah. I mean, Vin realizes that everything is going on and looks at her own bloodied form, which, to be fair, she was slashed 3 times throughout this fight.
Yes, but she was still slashed in places with lots of blood vessels.
Yes. And jumps off into the night, and that's how.
Yeah, she says she glances back towards the key, bids farewell to Ellen, and pushed herself away. And I'm just here you know how I said a few chapters ago, I don't know where this story is going anymore, and how I said oh well, the nobility plotline is still there. 2 balls later,
the nobility are not there anymore. See, Tequila is dead. Elariel is dead, more or less. Hastings is also...
No, Elariel is weakened.
Yes, but Shan was definitely sort of the most competent person in the Elariel.
Yeah, well, she was the most competent of the people at the balls.
And Hastings is almost gone. They are basically... No, but they have suspicion against them as well.
Yes, but they lost the convoy, but that's it. The big thing is that if this plan had gone through, Likhal, Hastings, and Venture would have lost people.
Yes.
But, and this is where this comes in, Ellen's not dead.
No.
We've had this perspective, Ellen's not dead.
What do you think?
We would have seen a body, and he almost certainly knows about Klaps's shop. He's going to pop in at Klaps's shop at some point.
So why do you think we got his perspective?
One, we needed to know about the true state of Straff and Ellen's relationship, but also we couldn't have gone into chapter 30 if we didn't know the context from Ellen's perspective.
That is true. That is very much true.
We would have been completely in the dark as why Ellen is reacting this way. Chapter 28, the end of it, gives us context why Ellen is acting this way, and it would have been too much to explain this. if he just said, if he'd said during this chapter when he was talking to Vin, I had you followed on its own, we would have started disliking Ellen.
Yeah,
because we wouldn't have context.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah, that is quite true.
We have an epigraph.
In the epigraph, the author says that people worry whether they'll be remembered or not. However, given that the author has brought chaos, conflict, and hope, he mentions all three, which is interesting. He'll never be forgotten. He does worry what will be said about him, whether he'll be remembered as a savior or a tyrant.
And at one point, he arrogantly tried to make himself a legend.
Mm-hmm.
He will say, he did the first.
Yeah.
Most people in the Empire will say he did the first.
Mm-hmm.
We know he did the latter.
Yeah. I mean, he did both, technically.
Yeah.
He saved it, but then destroyed it. Became a tyrant.
But this was so tense. As I told Nemo when I first started this chapter, I was just sitting and I started walking in my sitting room.
Yeah.
I just started pacing, listening to it and having it open on my phone, reading it.
Mm-hmm.
That was how tense I was.
Yeah. Yeah.
It reminds me of annoying nights of reading a story, coming to an exciting part, and putting my phone down, not being able to sleep, continue reading, and then I glance at the clock and it's 4 a.m.
Yeah, that's exactly why we are reading 2 chapters at a time, so you don't stay up at.
It's so annoying. It's a pain. It hurts me physically because I get nervous so badly.
Yeah. Well,
these are so good.
Anything else? What do you think? We have 4 chapters left? No. 6 chapters left.
4 chapters. 4 in this part.
Yeah, 4 in this part and 4 in the next.
And 4 in the next. Mm-hmm. So we have 8 chapters left plus an epilogue.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to see Mendes again because he's popped up twice now. I genuinely don't know where we're going again.
We are approaching the end of a part.
But the one thing, I told you this before we started recording, we're going to get a confrontation between Kel and Vin. We have to.
Yeah.
Because Vin exposed herself as a Mistborn at court, effectively, by trying to save Ellen.
Yeah.
Kel is going to be very annoyed about that. And I don't think Finn is going to take it anymore when he attacks the nobility.
I guess we shall see.
Nemo, I can see it in your eyes!
We shall see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, so with that...
Until next time.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.